Hello again, and now we're going to study the superlative very quickly so that you can understand this part of the grammar of the book and that you can complete your assignment for the next class. Okay, so then we are going to continue with the superlative. In this, the superlatives, as you can read, it says that the superlative expresses extremes, right? Extremes. So what is an extreme? Something that is on the top, something that is the worst thing or the best thing, okay? So, and then different from the comparative, we have to talk about 3 or more people, right? Now let's say that we talk about a group. In the comparative, we have just 2 objects, right? 2 people. We have 2 people. But in the superlative, we are going to talk about 3 or more people, okay? So we can talk about a group, a class, the group of students, 20 people, etc. Okay? So we are going to see, and this is pretty similar to what we studied in the comparative, because the rules are pretty similar. Remember, in the comparative we had 2 possibilities. We have ER and then than, and the other option was more than. Well, in the superlatives is something pretty similar. So the thing is that the endings and the words are going to be different. So instead of using ER, we are going to use the, and the ending is EST. And then in the second option we have the most. Okay, so let's remember. For this we have, remember, this was 1 or 2 syllables, and this was 2 or more syllables, right? Syllables. And in the superlative is exactly the same. So we have 1 or 2 syllables, and we have 2 or more syllables, right? Good. So in that sense, let's see our first example here in the book. It says the skin is the largest. You see, we have the largest, we have the, and the ending est. Our adjective in that example is large, right? So we have the example, the adjective large. So large has 1 or 2 syllables. So we say largest. Okay? So that's why we're going to say that we use est. Okay? And remember, we need the word before the largest. So then we could use our example with Pepito. So we could say that Pepito is the verb to be. Then we use the superlative, the most intelligent in the class. So in that sense we have the most and the adjective intelligent. So intelligent has more than 2 syllables, right? So in that case, that's why we use most. So we have intelligent, 4 syllables. That's why we're going to use the most. In the case of 1 syllable adjectives, let's say that let's use Pepito again. So Pepito is the, okay, let's use other color for that. It's the tallest in the class. So in the same way, since we have one adjective, one adjective with 1 syllable, we are going to use est. So we say tall, 1 syllable. That's why we're going to use est, and remember to use the before. Okay, so in that sense, let's recap. Okay, we have the superlative to express extremes in a group. Okay, so what is our group? The class. In these examples, we have the class as an example of a group. Okay, then according to the number of syllables, we are going to use est, the plus est, and the plus more, most. So that depends on the number of syllables that my adjective has. In this case, we have intelligent, my adjective, and it has, as we know, 4 syllables. Intelligent, 4 syllables. That's why we use the most. And our adjective here is tall. So tall has 1 syllable. That's why we're going to use est and the before. Okay? So in that sense, we finished. The superlative is very similar to the rules of the comparative, as you can see. The thing is that we change these words, and in comparative we use these words here, right? Okay, that's it then. Thank you for watching, and see you next class.